history of robots has its origins in the ancient world. During the Industrial Revolution, humans developed the structural engineering capability to control electricity so that machines could be powered with small motors. In the early 20th century, the notion of a humanoid machine was developed. The first uses of modern robots were in factories as industrial robots. We are even using AI in our day-to-day life. We also see movies like Iron Man 2.0 and many. But have you ever thought about how the term robot originated? How did people come to think about artificial human-like machines? Who and where started it? How did robots get the name robots? Which was the first robot? All answers are told in this video. Let's start the video. Harry Potter's moving photos, we also have moving statues. Don't get shocked. It's all Greek mythology. Many scientists say powerful ideas come from crazy stupid thoughts, ideas, or beliefs. Even though Greek mythology was not believable, the thought of moving artificial machines may have started from this. Concepts of artificial servants and companions date at least as far back as the ancient legends of Cadmus, who is said to have sewn dragon teeth that turned into soldiers, and Pygmalion, whose statue of Galatea came to life. In Greek mythology, Hephaestus created utilitarian three-legged tables that could move about under their own power, and a bronze man, Talos, that defended Crete. In ancient Egypt, statues of divinities were made of stone, metal, or wood. The statues were animated and played a key role in religious ceremonies. They were believed to have a soul, derived from the divinity they represented. In the New Kingdom of Egypt, from the 16th century BC till the 11th century BC, ancient Egyptians would frequently consult these statues for advice. The Buddhist scholar Dioxuan described humanoid automata crafted from metals that recite sacred texts in a cloister that housed a fabulous clock. Early Chinese lore on the legendary carpenter Liu Ban and the philosopher Mozi described mechanical imitations of animals and demons. The implications of humanoid automatons were discussed in Liezi, compilation of Daoist texts which went on to become a classic. King Mu of Zhou was on a tour of the West, and upon asking the craftsman master Yan Shi, "What can you do?" the royal court is presented with an artificial man. The automation was indistinguishable from a human and performed various tricks for the king and his entourage, but the king flew into a rage when apparently the automation started to flirt with the ladies in attendance and threatened the automation with execution. So the craftsman cut the automation open and revealed the inner workings of the artificial man. The king is fascinated and experiments with the functional interdependence of automation by removing different organ-like components. The king marveled, "Is it then possible for human skill to achieve as much as the creator?" and confiscated the automation. The Indian Lokopanati, a collection of cycles and lores produced in the 11th or 12th centuries AD, tells the story of how an army of automated soldiers were crafted to protect the relics of Buddha in a secret stupa. The plans for making such humanoid automatons were stolen from the Kingdom of Rome, a generic term for the Greco-Roman Byzantine culture. According to the Lokopanati, the Yavnas used the automatons to carry out trade and farming, but also captured and executed criminals. Roman automation makers who left the kingdom were pursued and killed by the automatons. The Emperor Azoka hears the story of the secret stupa and sets out to find it. Following a battle between the fierce warrior automatons, Azoka finds the long-lived engineer who had constructed the automatons and is shown how to dismantle and control them. Thus Emperor Azoka manages to command a large army of automated warriors. This Indian tale reflects the fear of losing control of artificial beings, which has also been expressed in Greek myths about the Dragon Teeth Army. Inspired by European Christian legend, medieval Europeans devised brazen heads that could answer questions posed to them. Albertus Magnus was supposed to have constructed an entire android that could perform some domestic tasks, but it was destroyed by Albert's student Thomas Aquinas for disturbing his thought. The most famous legend concerned a bronze head devised by Roger Bacon, which was destroyed or scrapped after he missed its moment of operation. Automata resembling humans or animals were popular in the imaginary worlds of medieval literature. The first verifiable automation is a humanoid drawn by Leonardo da Vinci in around 1495. Leonardo's notebooks, rediscovered in the 1950s, contain detailed drawings of a mechanical knight in armor which was able to sit up, wave its arms and move its head and jaw. In the mid-1400s, Johannes Müller von Königsberg created an automaton eagle and fly made of iron. Both could fly. John Dee is also known for creating a wooden beetle, capable of flying. The 17th century thinker René Descartes believed that animals and humans were biological machines. On his last trip to Norway, he took with him a mechanical doll that looked like his dead daughter Francine. In the 18th century, the master toymaker Jacques de Vaucanson built for Louis XV an automated duck with hundreds of moving parts, which could eat and drink. Vaucanson subsequently built humanoid automatons. A drummer and fife player were noted for their anatomical similarity to real human beings. Vaucanson's creation inspired European watchmakers to manufacture mechanical automata, and it became fashionable among the European aristocracy to collect sophisticated mechanical devices for entertainment. In 1747, Julien Offray de la Métrie anonymously published La Home Machine, in which he called Vaucanson a new Prometheus, and mused, "The human body is a watch, a large watch constructed with such skill and ingenuity." Now let's see the development of automations/robots year by year. 1990s. Starting in 1900, L. Frank Baum introduced contemporary technology into children's books in the Oz series. In The Wonderful Wizard of Oz, Baum told the story of the cyborg Tin Woodman, a human woodcutter who had his limbs, head, and body replaced by a tinsmith after his wicked axe had severed them. In Ozma of Oz, Baum describes the copper clockwork man Tick-Tock, who needs to be continuously wound up and runs down at inopportune moments. 1910s. In World War I, remote control weapons were used, based on the work of Nikola Tesla, who had constructed an electrical boat that could be remotely controlled by radio. 1920s. The term robot was first used in a play published by the Czech Karel Čapek in 1921. RUR was a satire. Robots were manufactured biological beings that performed all unpleasant manual labor. According to Čapek, the word was created by his brother Joseph from the Czech word robota korví, or in Slovak work or labor. The play RUR replaced the popular use of the word automaton. 1930s. The earliest designs of industrial robots were put into production in the United States. These manipulators had joints modeled on human shoulder armrest kinetics to replicate human motions like pulling, pushing, pressing, and lifting. Motions could be controlled through CAM and switch programming. In 1938, Willard V. Pollard filed the first patent application for such an arm, the position controlling apparatus, with electronic controllers, pneumatic cylinders and motors that powered 6 axes of motion. But the large drum memory made programming time-consuming and difficult. In 1939, the humanoid robot known as Electro, not the Spider-Man Electro, it's Electro, appeared at the World's Fair. 7 feet tall and weighing 265 pounds, it could walk by voice command, speak about 700 words, smoke cigarettes, blow up balloons, and move its head and arms. The body consisted of a steel gear cam and motor skeleton covered by an aluminium skin. In 1939, Konrad Zuse constructed the first programmable electromechanical computer, laying the foundation for the construction of a humanoid machine that is now deemed a robot. The practical application of binary logic to electric switches had been demonstrated by Claude Shannon, but his calculator was not programmable. 1940s. In 1941 and 1942, Isaac Asimov formulated the 3 laws of robotics, and in the process coined the word robotics. In 1945, Vannevar Bush published As We May Think, an essay that investigated the potential of electronic data processing. He predicted the rise of computers, digital word processors, voice recognition, and machine translation. He was later credited by Ted Nelson, the inventor of hypertext. In 1943, Arturo Rosenblueth, Norbert Wiener, and Julian Bigelow adopted the human central nervous system as a control paradigm for automatic weapons systems. In doing so, they pioneered cybernetics and modeled data processing on the assumption that an animal continually communicates its sensorial experience to its central nervous system as automatic and involuntary feedback, thus being able to regulate processes such as respiration, circulation, and digestion. Following the Second World War, at a 1946 conference on cybernetics, Warren McCulloch gathered a team of mathematicians, computer engineers, physiologists and psychologists to work on machine operation using biological systems as the starting point. Following the publication of his book in 1948, Wiener's idea that inanimate systems could simulate biological and social systems through the use of sensors led to the adaptation of cybernetic theories into industrial machines. But servo controllers proved inadequate in achieving the desired level of automation. 1950s, the 1960s. Devil sold the first Unimate to General Motors in 1960, and it was installed in 1961 in a plant in Ewing Township, New Jersey to lift hot pieces of metal from a die casting machine and place them in cooling liquid. Without any fanfare, the world's first working robot joined the assembly line at the General Motors plant in Ewing Township in the spring of 1961. It was an automated die-casting mold that dropped red-hot door handles and other such car parts into pools of cooling liquid on a line that moved them along to workers for trimming and buffing. Devil's patent for the first digitally operated programmable robotic arm represents the foundation of the modern robotics industry. The Rancho arm was developed as a robotic arm to help handicapped patients at the Rancho Los Amigos Hospital in Downey, California. This computer-controlled arm was bought by Stanford University in 1963. Well, I am tired of the history stories. Now you know what might have happened, robots developed, and now let's come to the present 2000s by skipping some years, or this video will not today. 1 minute, let me drink some water. Okay, let's continue. The 2000s. Present. In April 2001, the Canadarm2 was launched into orbit and attached to the International Space Station. The Canadarm2 is a larger, more capable version of the arm used by the Space Shuttle, and is hailed as smarter. Also in April, the unmanned aerial vehicle Global Hawk made the first autonomous non-stop flight over the Pacific Ocean from Edwards Air Force Base in California to RAF Base Edinburgh in southern Australia. The flight was made in 22 hours. The popular Roomba, a robotic vacuum cleaner, was first released in 2002 by the company iRobot. In 2005, Cornell University revealed a robotic system of block modules capable of attaching and detaching, described as the first robot capable of self-replication. Because it was capable of assembling copies of itself if it was placed near more of the blocks that composed it. Launched in 2003, on 3 and January 24th. The Mars rover's Spirit and Opportunity landed on the surface of Mars. Both robots drove many times the distance originally expected, and Opportunity was still operating as of mid-2018, although communications were subsequently lost due to a major dust storm. Self-driving cars had made their appearance by around 2005, but there was room for improvement. None of the 15 devices competing in the DARPA Grand Challenge successfully completed the course. In fact, no robot successfully navigated more than 5% of the 150-mile off-road course, leaving the $1 million prize unclaimed. In 2005, Honda revealed a new version of its Asimo robot, updated with new behaviors and capabilities. In 2006, Cornell University revealed its Starfish robot, a four-legged robot capable of self-modeling and learning to walk after having been damaged. In 2007, Tomy launched the entertainment robot, Isobot, a humanoid bipedal robot that can walk like a human and performs kicks and punches and also some entertaining tricks and special actions under Special Action Mode. Robonaut 2, the latest generation of the astronaut helpers, was launched to the space station aboard Space Shuttle Discovery on the STS-133 mission in 2011. It is the first humanoid robot in space, and although its primary job, for now, is teaching engineers how dexterous robots behave in space. The hope is that through upgrades and advancements, it could one day venture outside the station to help spacewalkers make repairs or additions to the station or perform scientific work. On October 25, 2017 at the Future Investment Summit in Riyadh, a robot called Sophia and referred to with female pronouns was granted Saudi Arabian citizenship, becoming the first robot ever to have a nationality. This has attracted controversy, as it is not obvious whether this implies that Sophia can vote or marry, or whether a deliberate system shutdown can be considered murder. As well, it is controversial considering how few rights are given to Saudi human women. Commercial and industrial robots are now in widespread use, performing jobs more cheaply or with greater accuracy and reliability than humans. They are also employed for tasks that are too dirty, dangerous, or dull to be suitable for humans. Robots are widely used in manufacturing, assembly, and packing, transport, Earth and space exploration, surgery, weaponry, laboratory research, and mass production of consumer and industrial goods. In 2019, engineers at the University of Pennsylvania created millions of nanorobots in just a few weeks using technology borrowed from semiconductors. These microscopic robots, small enough to be hypodermically injected into the human body and controlled wirelessly, could one day deliver medications and perform surgeries, revolutionizing medicine and health. With recent advances in computer hardware and data management software, artificial representations of humans are also becoming widespread. Examples include OpenMRS and EMR bots. Hope this video is useful for you. If you like the video, drop a like, share with those who would love to watch this video, and subscribe to get notified the next time I upload a new video. Goodbye viewers, it's DIEBRAND signing off.